So here we go. Game number 2. Dark Neutron leading 1-0 in this WARNO monthly tournament in this best of 2. Meddi still can equalize the score though. And we have a really cool match coming. First of all, cool map. We have Black Forest. And then it's not just a new map, it's also the 2 new divisions. The 2 Berlin divisions meeting each other here. Meddi coming in with the name Central on the left. Dark Neutron coming in with Berlin Command on the right side. So that is gonna be a lot of fun. Let's freaking go. I'm really hyped for this. Also, if you want to get into some tournaments yourself, come around this Friday, as we will have the next Friday night WARNO 2v2 event happening this Friday, which is also not just a 2v2 tournament, but also a Q&A with the developers. And this time it's really cool because we are gonna joined by the guys who made this lovely map in front of us, by the 3 map developers from Eugen this Friday. Yeah, so come around, let's talk a bit about maps, ask your questions, and yeah, we're gonna talk about what their plans are, how they approach maps. Maybe the magic word map editor will fall. Yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. And yeah, they have been really up for communications a lot. They're doing a fantastic job. Black Forest, for example, is, in my eyes, the best example of how much it has improved since launch. Like when we got this map the first time around, after really bad, but it had an interesting idea behind it, and now they made this idea a bit better. They built it up a bit better. They brought some new ideas into map design, and now we are here with this map, which in my eyes is one of the best maps currently in the game. And that is a really nice 180 turnaround, right? From one of the worst, if not the worst maps in the map, to one of the best, if not the best maps in the map, in the game. With just some adjustments, some new ideas. Charlie and Bravo, the 2 vocal points, but you also can push towards Foxtrot or towards Alpha. Echo and Delta are obviously somewhat safer, but you can potentially get in there, and you get rewarded by getting in there. It's still one of the slower maps, as the zones are somewhat slow. It's mostly +1 zones, but that's also kind of nice, having a bit of a slower map in the map pool. Obviously, all this slow, open, and so on would be even better if in ranked you would have map vetoes. Once we have enough ranked maps in the pool, like once we have like 9, you can do it like in StarCraft, where you then have like 3 map vetoes, so that you don't play on the maps you don't want, that don't fit your division, that don't fit your playstyle. And then maps like this would perfectly fit in, like as the bigger, slower maps, similar to like 4-player maps in StarCraft. And then all the guys who don't want to play a slower game can just veto Black Forest out. But in general, as a map, it's a fantastic one. Both for 1v1 and 2v2 in my eyes. 1v1 obviously a bit more spread out here. You struggle a bit to really get the forces for all the points where you need it. Whilst in 2v2 it's a big battle with a lot of burning stuff all around, which is fantastic as well. Yeah, we have a lot of Berlin light rifles here coming around on the right side. My favorite division. We have a heck of a lot of foxes here coming in to try to rush in. And on the other side, on the Centrum, with the Fallschirmjägers. Ooh, Meddi! Ooh! These Fallschirmjägers starting a bit late. Aufklärers coming around here. Surprisingly, no Fallschirmjäger Meddis whatsoever. And that I don't quite understand. Like, Fallschirmjäger Meddis are such a strong unit, so not using them, quite a surprise for me that we don't see any of those at the beginning, especially as Unternehmen Berlin Command can't do much against them. Like, they don't have any attack helicopters that just can snipe your Fallschirmjäger Meddis. The attack helicopters are only on the side of Unternehmen Central here, with a couple of Mi-24s. Not that many, but a couple you get. Air-wise, it's both sides with pretty bad air superiority fighters, but both sides with fantastic bomber options. The Mirage Force and the Nighthawk on the right side, versus a lot of Su-22s with a lot of different loadouts, and a couple of MiG-21s on the left side here for Meddi. As we see the Strellas coming in here from the get-go. Interesting to see the fall trimming of Strelas. On Strelas, the extra 5-point tax for having them forward deployable is hefty, because it's so much, like, percentage-wise, it's such a big increase. Strelas are not great weapons, and, like, paying 5-point extras for them is quite big, so interesting choice there by Meddi once more. Whilst we have some detachments and Ace and BGS coming around here. Great CQC infantry. A lot of SPG-9s coming in for Meddi. As the Foxes move around here. Aufklärers have an RPG 18, so the Fox has to be a bit careful. But we'll be able to spot some enemy units here. We'll be able to open up fire. And a good amount of units coming in here in the south. Berlin Light Rifles. Fantastic, fantastic infantry with their recoilless rifle that can deal damage to any kind of target. From the heaviest tank to the standard infantry unit that can do a good job. SPG-9s down here. Foxes though. Oh, some sneaky plays going on here with this little car. Going through up this road. And gonna try to get behind the enemy. Gonna try to deal some damage there. Currently, +2 for Dark Neutron as... Oh, Meddi. Meddi messed up. Meddi didn't capture the rear zone here. Phobos not coming around. We will need another CV for that. Not capturing Delta, big mistake. First, SU-22 with rockets coming around already. 4 massive rockets on this thing. If they hit, they can do fantastic damage. Coming in for the BGS. Not quite having the angle of attack though. Mistrals. Luckily for the SU-22, also not having the time to get on target either. But not capturing Delta is a mistake for sure. SU-22 now coming in with its rockets. Dealing a good amount of damage to the Berlin, but getting annihilated by the Mistral. Yeah, Mistral, absolutely fantastic manpad. That thing is shredding, and that's why I like Berlin, the Berlin command. You can deal with airplanes like this. If they come at you, you just kill them in revenge. And yes, they get rid of their payload, but losing a Berlin light rifle for an SU-22, it's a trade I take every day. And if it's only half of a Berlin light rifle squad, even more so. Wachschützen here though, fantastic unit coming up. Both sides having great CQC. Berlin light rifles, BGS, detachment A's on one side. On the other side, the Wachschützen, the Pioneer with the rocket launchers there as well. I forgot the name of the triple RPG. And SU-22s and MiG-21s coming in here again. Yeah, and that's what a lot of people believe is the way of how you beat Berlin Command. But as I said, like, as long as Berlin Command keeps these traits against these bombers, and this bomber here, for example, will be not quite killed. Well, it's not quite killed. It didn't kill too much either, and it will be out for quite a while. Like, it will take a long while to be repaired, so the damage from the Mistral is still absolutely worth it. Fox is here being a nuisance now, capturing the first truck there. Whilst we have a Mi-8 gunship now coming in to hunt, I guess. Yeah, CV coming in here now for Delta, for Meddi, will equalize the score. 200 points advantage for Dark Neutron. On most map, not much. On this map, quite the advantage. Also, thanks LR Eric, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Yeah, always nice to see new faces here on the channel. New people enjoying some competitive WARNO and competitive Steel Division. And some lovely strategy games in general. As we have a P4 PC coming around for the center now. With the Alpha Zone also not being captured yet for Meddi. Like, yeah, Meddi's early capture strategy seemed a bit weird. Or, like, rather bad in my eyes. Maybe Meddi not too experienced with the map just yet, as it's not in the rank pool just yet. Ooh. The Phobos have to be careful there. Yeah, move back in. Foxes on a bit of an ambush position there. Mi-8 gunships on defensive positions, but that's heavy, expensive units to use to hunt down some Foxes. Especially if you not even actively hunt them. SPG, the BGS and the Detachment A also getting into nasty positions in the rear. But on the other side, at least some UATs to be annoying coming around as well. Auto-stalking Meddi's not quite with the line of sight to get a Meddi's missile through. Should move a slight bit further forward. Then they would get a Meddi's missile most likely on target before the enemy is... Like, this line of sight is not enough for Meddi's missile to fire and land on the target. They will lose line of sight. Will waste missiles most likely. Yeah, missile will fire, won't hit anything though. So, bit of a mistake there by Meddi once more. That's Dark Neutron playing pretty clean Berlin command so far. Wonder when we will see the first Nighthawk, if we will see a Nighthawk at all. 2 artillery pieces it is for now. Couple of Gazelle rockets. These don't deal the most damage, but they can deal relatively cheaply as they only cost 20 points with something like a UATS in your rear line. So I like the idea here as well. On the other side, we have some howitzers coming in as well. Some 152mm D20s. So howitzers on both sides, not self-propelled, just standard. Ultramegers here, getting a nice kill against the Javelin LML. Mistral's still around though. But yeah, killing off all the manpads in one area, then you can use your SU-22s. Like the SU-22s, absolutely viable in this matchup. You just have to clear up the manpads first, and then you have to use that window when the enemy doesn't have enough manpads, doesn't have enough pivots in the zone, and then you can bring them in again. But if the Berlin command player doesn't do a mistake, then using air can be quite inefficient if you don't do the preparation for it. MiG-21 BIS coming around here now. Trying to go for the Berlin light rifles. Both Mistrals will fire. Oh, the Mistrals fire on the wrong target though. The first one fires on the Mi-8. I mean, they both get a hit, so MiG-21 will be out for quite a while as well. It got its bombs dropped off. And the Mi-8 might go down here still, especially as it's moving into the wrong direction. Yeah, the second Mistral will have a line of sight, most likely in a second as well. Pivot coming up. One helicopter going down there. Mistral missile not quite landing on the Mi-8, but another helicopter shot down there. That was another Mi-8, so Meddi losing some air targets here. And the BGS actually might do the job. If you fly directly over them, the MP5s also have fantastic damage output against helicopters and can stun them down quite quickly as well. Gazelle rockets over here have to be careful. Get the kill though, before the Strellas can finish them off. So still fine trade there for Dark Neutron as well with these 20-point helicopters. And really showing the strength of Berlin Command. Their cheap cost efficiency is quite nice, and since manpads do more damage against armored targets, it's quite the viable division in my eyes. Meanwhile, up here, Motorstalky Meddis hitting the Chieftain Mark 10. The Mark 10 taking 4 damage. Able to retreat afterwards. Detachment A here on the side, doing a good job. BGS helping out big time as well. Good kills for Dark Neutron there once more. But Meddi on the +1 now. Has pushed out the CV over here. Has another SU-21 coming, but both Mistrals still having missiles. That's just risky. SU-22 having good ECM. Most of the time will survive. But eventually they will go down, and as soon as a third and fourth Mistral come in, and we have some more coming in, then the SU-22 mostly will go down on each run. And those rockets, really, I'm not impressed by them. Those big rockets are just way too random in my eyes for such an expensive plane. Always the issue with big rockets in Neutron games, that the spread is combined with the low number of rockets. Means that you either deal decent damage or you just potentially deal no damage at all. I like the idea up here. Meddi getting for the Foxtrot capture. Quite a good idea in my eyes. Meanwhile, we have 2 artillery setups here for Dark Neutron. 2x2 155mm howitzers. On the other side, Meddi lost his one to the Fox. The Fox here in a pretty gnarly spot. Already getting a couple of kills here. And with the helicopter finishing it off, it'll be a bit tougher. And I'm not sure Meddi has really realized that the Fox is here. Otherwise, the Mi-24D most likely would have gone up there into the north. 2 of them now around. Detachment A will be toast now. Not quite sure what that crit just was there. That looked quite interesting. But yeah, the Fox needs to be killed there. The Fox needs to be killed. Meanwhile, Dark Neutron wants to take back this area. With really big infantry setup coming in here. T-55s moving around. The open field, both sides not really having the concentration to push of units to push in here. Artillery obviously could help demolishing this town. We could potentially see toss. Toss 1 could be quite helpful on this map. We also have some T-55As rolling in here. As they can be quite helpful against all those light infantry units. SPG-9, ooh, getting eaten up alive by the Berlin light rifles. Most likely will fall if they get shot any further. Need to be repaired. Whilst the CV here of Meddi will now slowly move into the rear. Meddi still on the +1, but only 40 points per minute, so catching up to 300 points of Dark Neutron will take a while, which is in my eyes, like, yeah, mostly based on Meddi using the CVs in the early game, not in the correct manner. Like, with the first CV going directly into this +1 zone instead of capturing Delta first. Meanwhile, helicopters going down over here. The Mistral pivot line does a good job. Me-24Ds not really standing a chance. First one of them already going down. The second one here has to be careful. SU-22 not really finding any targets either. And this is the moment where it becomes a bit annoying to play Berlin Command. You will lose every plane you bring in once the man-pad concentration is this high, especially with the dive bombers. Like, so you only can use them on really juicy targets. They have decent enough artillery, and their infantry plop is just really, really hard to beat. So, yes, the AGI and Wachschützen can do similar amount of damage, but they have to be used really correctly as well. And I would say the tank advantage is slightly in favor of Unternehmen Zentrum. But maybe the biggest advantage really is the toss. And the rocket artillery, with the rest of the rocket artillery not being that amazing, but the napalm rocket on this town here could be quite fantastic as well. Wachschützen coming around, Saperi over here. Engineer flashed in the rear, CV came in, so Meddi not having the +1 anymore, and we have a Nighthawk now for the first time coming onto the battlefield for our player on the right side. It's going for a UVAT's kill. Okay, that's a bit underwhelming, but hey. Oh, and it doesn't even get the hit because it lost line of sight. Didn't have LOS on the target for long enough. And the UVAT's actually gets the kill onto the Alouette. Oh yeah, not really what you want to use the Nighthawk for. The guided bombs losing its targeting there. Getting another bomb dropped. No, not yet. Returning home. BGS, I mean, BGS can just deal with this. I'm not sure why the Nighthawk was called in for that. Once both sides really have dug in now, but Technician's slow pushing forward now. Another MiG-21 bomber. Yes, these guys are cheap, but they are not coming for free, and their survivability is really low. Using Javelins in this area I'm not a fan of. Javelin LML have terrible line of sight here, and they need guidance onto the target to really connect. So I would never use Javelins in this part of the map. Javelins are absolutely fine over here, in this part of the map. In a good building, in a good tree line there. Javelins are terrible over here. Like down here they're somewhat fine as well. Over here, they with the elevation, with the lot of forests and so on, the line of sight of the Javelins will never be good enough to really get on target. Mortal Strelky getting hit here. And yeah, oh no! The Fox dealing oh my goodness! Absolute MVP here for Dark Neutron, and yeah, big mistake by Meddi to never realize this at all. Like, yes, Foxes on this map can be deadly, but they should never be this deadly. This is really, really rough. The 130mm there could also be in danger of getting killed by it. Like, all really not good. Another plane crashing down here.
This is a tragedy. This is a tragedy of the maximum scale.
Yeah, a good couple of T-55s coming in. This is looking a bit rough for Meddi there. Like, No matter how well you trade on the front, like, this Fox killed what, like 400 points by now? Most likely around, somewhere around that. So that's a lot of extra trading that you will have to do on the front line to get that out of the systems. Like, yeah, pretty tough here. Gazelle rockets coming around. Obviously, we all have that happen at one point in a game like this, but I feel like on this map you just have to be alert for it. Like, you have to expect it, and not checking for it all couple of minutes is just big mistake. The fog post at least might make it into the north soon. The artillery park here of Dark Neutron obviously a lot better than the one of Meddi by now though. And it will start to really demolish this woodcutter camp. Berlin light rifles also slowly moving forward and getting off their recoilless rifles on these Pioneer AGI. AGI, fantastic weapon, but it has to get in range. At 500 meter range, these guys really open up nicely, but they're not quite there just yet. They need to get a bit closer. Meanwhile, the Berlin light rifles, with their recoilless rifles, can deal the damage. Their launchers can fire here. So yeah, in secrecy, Pioneers and RPOs absolutely win, but not on this range. And now we have an SU-22 coming in again. Mistrals will smash it this time around. Javelin really not in a good spot, but yeah, the Mistral do the job. They are fantastic manpads. Once more, a bad trade here for Meddi. Meddi on the +1 now, but that will still take a good couple of minutes. +1 is only 40 points per minute, so it will take a good while to really kick in. And the Foxes did get the next kill. The Foxes even might get some good damage onto a T-80B here. T-80B getting 2 damage there. At least not dying, but Fox still doing more harm. Let's light rifles here. Fighting against Aufklärers. Pioneer AGI moving forward. Got rid of their rockets this time. And did some good damage with those. Nighthawk coming in for the north. Not having line of sight anymore though. Or, wait, did they drop a bomb already? Oh, they dropped the bomb already. MiG-23 finds the Nighthawk though. Nighthawk stayed around maybe a bit too long. But we don't have any books on the battlefield. So no AA here to help out the MiG-23. MiG-23 not having the best air optics. Will struggle to find the Nighthawk again. Will be able to find it here. But its missiles relatively lackluster. Only R60s. Even against the 0 ECM of the Nighthawk. Not able to find the connection there. Bit unfortunate for Meddi. But Meddi on a +3 now. By getting rid of the CV over here. I'm not sure what happened to the CV. But it's a nice +3 now for Meddi. With Foxtrot captured. And the zone over here captured as well. MiG-23 just needs to run away from the Harrier. The Harrier can't follow. Harrier fantastic against helicopters. Terrible against everything else. Head-ons you still shouldn't take with it though. As the Harrier, the 230mm will shred your MiG-23, so you have to be a bit careful there. But doesn't have the mobility to do much. We have some Strelas down here that could deal some damage to it. The Strelas connect. Strelas are terrible missiles as well. But the Harrier's mobility is absolutely abysmal. So the MiG-23 can come around one more time here. Down here, pivots though, eating up some infantry. And the MiG-23 shouldn't come down here. Kills a Gazelle rocket, but the Mistrals... Oh, not getting a hit. Not getting a hit. Fortunate there for Meddi. As we have a Buratino entering the battlefield, but oh, okay. It's not going by the Fox. Okay, it's not going by the Fox. That would have been really painful. It's the second most expensive unit in the game. Meanwhile, we have these artilleries coming around here. 2 cluster Harriers coming in. And there's no books. There's no books. I don't know why we didn't get any of the good air systems. We had a Puser, I guess, trying to come in here, getting killed. But yeah, there's no AA to stop this from coming in outside of a couple of Strelas, which against any ECM are terrible. T-80Bs getting annihilated, and the Harriers most likely will get the hell out of there. MiG-23 coming around again. Will they get there in time? Not a lot of AA up here, only 1 Javelin LML and 1 Pivot. So the MiG-23s might be able to find it. But yeah, Harriers get out on time. MiG-23 coming in too late. Can go for the Alouettes in the north. That's at least a good kill to keep the Phobos alive. CV on the way here for that Neutron, but that would still only be a neutralization. And Meddi by now up in points. So that's good. 18 minutes remaining. Meddi on a +3. +3, fantastic on this map. 300 points on this map are a lot. Way more than on any other map currently in the ranked or the tournament pool. As it's just so hard to get a good big tick on the enemy here. And it will get a bit more. 420 points here per minute. Quite fantastic. But another MiG-21 coming in here. Another MiG-21 getting out alive. I'm not sure what happened to the Mistral line. I guess a couple of them got shoot up over here. But we have... oh, Dark Neutron is going for the plop. This plop is risky though. Like, this plop is bombable. MiG-21s will try to attempt that. CV coming in here in the rear. Not unloading yet for Dark Neutron. Big mistake there. Especially as the MiG-21 is trying to go for it, but it does miss. It does miss. MiG-21 not getting the kill there, and also reminding Dark Neutron to unload that vehicle now. As Meddi is closing in on the 300-point advantage, but we got the kill in the north. Artillery finished off the Phobos. The Volkspolizei is gone, so it will be a neutral tick soon as this CV has arrived in Foxtrot. And that Berlin command here now coming in. Kill on this Assault Pioneer leader could have been really nice. Keeping out the +1 here for 2-3 more minutes. And Meddi would have a point advantage that will be like really hard to catch up for Dark Neutron. Buratino now actually going for the center here. I mean, a good Buratino shot could be dealing a lot of damage here, but the question is, will there be anything in front of the Buratino anymore? As the CV has to evacuate here. And we go from a +1 for Meddi to a +1 for Dark Neutron, as Foxtrot in the north now got captured as well. And there's just nothing here left anymore. And that's really the cost efficiency of Berlin Command now. And then, like, this Berlin Light Rifle flop, there's just nothing to deal with it. If you don't have helicopters anymore, you don't... And, like, yeah, bombers can come in. We need more manpads here for Dark Neutron for sure. And the clump... And like, these guys are all a bit too clumped for my liking, but the bombers not hitting the mark either. And we don't have a Wachschützen wall on the other side that could deal with this. Buratino may be the only hope. A good Buratino hit could do the job. But +1 for Dark Neutron still happening. And that's enough points. A +1 would still be enough points to get over Meddi here in points. And yeah, the Buratino now aiming up, but it's not really hitting the part where the most units are. And the units by now also spreading out again. Like, he didn't have enough units to pin the enemy into a fight and then come in with the Buratino. So chances are that this Buratino won't do an insane amount of damage. Will need a reload and so on. And then come around maybe one more time. It's really starting at the completely wrong spot. Slowly creeping up onto the Berlin light rifles. Might get some hit there. Yeah, one might go down. Oh no, the last couple of rockets landing abysmally, and the Buratino doesn't do anything. Just doesn't do anything at all. Yeah, that was a bad targeted position as well. At least a good amount of infantry here back now for Meddi. Volkspolizei equalizing the score for now, but there's a lot of Berlin light rifles here. Yeah, the Volksführer should have waited. Oh, he didn't finish the Buratino shot. These last 4 rockets over here could have killed these Berlin light rifles. I don't know why he didn't wait for them. And now they didn't do anything. Like, that... Like, there's some weirdness in Meddi's play sometimes. Like, Neutron here playing really smooth Berlin command. And Meddi is just doing... sometimes some moves that I'm absolutely flabbergasted by. Like, he has really cool ideas, and then something like this happens. And it just didn't work out, and now it's a +1 for Dark Neutron. And Dark Neutron has so much advantage that a push into Alpha should be doable as well. A should into Delta maybe through the north viable here now as well. I don't see Meddi's chances that high anymore. It's only 13 minutes, so Dark Neutron will have to push. At 300 points, like, yeah, that's still doable. Like, even a +1 just is fine. Actually, he doesn't really need to push. So, a push would speed it up a bit. And would ensure that he has the point advantage. MX-30 not going down here. Mistrals coming around. MiG-21 not going down. Yeah, too many Mistrals here out of ammo and not on low on stuff. The ace setup here for Dr. not as good as it once was. Could use reinforcements. More Javelin LML coming around. But yeah, Meddi really getting under heavy pressure now. And this Fox really, like, that should never have happened. Like, losing these 4 units maybe, but losing 2 artillery pieces and all of that, like, it's just way too much. And then the Buratino not getting the hit. Big oof as well. T-55's coming around, but the Berlin Light Rifles now had enough time to get a good couple of stuff, of ammunition again. Good couple of shots for the recoilless rifles again. They should be able to defend their point here. Harrier killing off the enemy plane. Cluster bomber coming around. Mistrals and Javelins and Pivots trying to get on top of it. Javelin getting a hit there. Mistral not finishing it off though. And the South a bit unfortunate, but the Harrier with the hit. And another Su-22, which are super expensive. Like, the cluster ones cost you 290 points. Like, going down there. Yeah, big oof. Big oof. Su-22s really... They can be so dangerous, especially if you can pin down the enemy air defense and so on. But they are pretty expensive planes. They are pretty big risks, so losing them like this usually never worthwhile. But Stark Neutron keeps up the +1. 12 minutes still remaining. And yeah, the Harriers just able to fly here, like one book with a supply truck. And these Harriers would have never done much. Buratino loading again. MiG-23 coming around. Phobos under fire here. +2 there for Dark Neutron would be most likely kind of game. F1 11. No, F1 117 coming around here. The Nighthawk once more on the battlefield, and there's no AA here. I'm also pretty sure radar AA detects the Nighthawk better than other units. I'm pretty sure they have air reconnaissance. Oh, Meddi with some really nice shenanigans here. On the +3. Oh, this is... this is interesting. Getting a CV down here. Great play. And that might make things interesting again. If the Buratino shot here now actually does something... No, it doesn't. Oh my... Why wouldn't you... Okay, I mean, obviously he doesn't have the line of sight we do. I mean, the Buratino shot does decently. One more shot could be possible. CV coming up. The +3 move down here. Yeah, big oversight by Dark Neutron here. And kind of the only way Meddi still can win this game. Now, 300 something plus points. Nighthawk trying to find the kill. Engineered Dragons not having any line of sight on this. Aufklärer coming around. Yeah, this Speerwagen just needs to hide. Needs to run. As +3, now +2. But most likely Dark Neutron still can get in here. 10 minutes is still a long time. And by now, Dark Neutron has so much control over the center that even though there's little points in the a few points in the center. Oh no, the Buratino. Ah, why not firing in here? Like, it could deal so much damage there. Fox still an issue. TADB's coming around. Yeah, but 400 point advantage now again for Meddi. That's a great play with 10 minutes remaining. Really good job by Meddi with this move, but it still might not be enough. Another SPW could come in here, could make it a +3 again, could maybe make it up to 500 points, as the Chieftain CV still takes a while here to get in. And it would still only be a draw. Engineer Dragon not finding the unit down here. Nighthawk out of ammo. CV instantly dies to Berlin Light Rifles here. Yeah, not enough infantry around here to protect us anymore. Buratino running out of ammo, not having a resupply right now. And this gets neutralized now. And Meddi has 450 points. 8 minutes or 9 minutes remaining here for Dark Neutron to finish that. Makes it more interesting, but I feel like Dark Neutron should be able to just take all of the map, and then 400 points is not enough. Harrier goes down, +2. That's 80 points per minute already. That's already enough. Yeah, that's already enough, so... yeah, it's not good enough. Like, Meddi with some cool ideas here, but the defensives in the middle not strong enough, especially down here. Buratino coming in a nice idea, but not getting the hits it needed. Airplay here, a bit too wasteful, a bit too little focus on the Pioneer AGI plops that you could use in these forests. And then, obviously, these casualties here just unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable, like that. And now, Dark Neutron can just run through. So, yeah, +2 for Dark Neutron should be good enough. Especially if Dark Neutron can also then go even one step further. Chieftain, CV coming in here, the P4 PC could come in, up here to the north and get the capture there. And then this situation here would deteriorate completely for Meddi with a +6 for Dark Neutron. Fox killing a T80 here. Is that really what's happening? T80 did engage, but it went really low. As the Chieftain is rolling forward, it's supposed to go into the rear. Will take it a long while. Chieftain CVs are slow. Would use the P4 maybe more so, but obviously that's a bit more vulnerable. Chieftain also going for move into Alpha. No Alouette in front of it. I would move that in front of it. Maybe give it a bit of infantry cover. Like, this seems a bit suicidal, but at this point it shouldn't really matter. It shouldn't really matter on the paper. Meddi's shenanigans, I think, can't save him here anymore. MiG-23 ML trying to come around. Harrier coming in here. Ooh, good kill. Chieftain rolling towards the north. Chieftain rolling towards the south. The assault pioneers loaded up as well. Will roll towards that zone as well. Harriers winning air battles. That's really not supposed to happen either. Not like that, at least. Not that deep in enemy territory. As the SPG-9 is opening up fire against the Chieftain. Chieftain does spot it though. And should be able to kill it off potentially before the SPGs gets the kill. Ooh, good stun here for the SPG. But hits frontal armor now. So the Chieftain should be unstunned in a second. And then should be able to fire back. Oh, smokes off. Could have killed here. Could have just killed and moved through. Okay, does decide to smoke off. Maya's not the right choice. But as I said, doesn't really matter now. Assault Pioneers coming in the north. This guy coming in now. 5 minutes, 10 seconds. We are only 180 points now away between the two. Advantage of Meddi has gone down a lot. And yeah, the Chieftain gets the kill here. Can just move on forward now. Nothing here to stop it anymore. MiG-21 will try to kill it, but it's off target. And it also will struggle to bomb here. Will get its bombs off, but it won't hit anything. +1 for Dark Neutron, as this zone over here is contested again. But in a second it will be a +5, as the zone in the north will fall. Assault Pioneers will unload there. +3 at first, and then once the zone is completely captured, it will be a +5. The Chieftain coming in as well. Meddi spotting that one. And then in a second, with this being captured, it will be a +8 even. Or +7, as this one is still contested. But Dark Neutron now just jumping ahead in points. Really interesting games. Really, really interesting games. And yeah, I feel like Meddi, with like an improvement of 10-20%, really can get up to the upper echelon. It's just a couple of I like the play of Meddi. That's why I'm also was a bit cheering here for him. And like Dark Neutron is playing just totally standard, and he's really good at that. I found Meddi's interesting decision making here quite cool, and I think a lot of it is viable if you execute it a bit better. Like the execution part on the second Panzer Grenadier and so on, were more of the issue. And GGVP here. Yeah, Dark Neutron playing a fantastic game with my favorite division. So well done in the end. Getting the points, getting what needed to be done, and oh, yeah. This is not supposed to be happening. 2 T-55s. Shilka conquers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry squadrons of transports, and an artillery piece. And an artillery piece. Big oof. I would have been on the waiting list, slot number 1. I considered if we didn't get to 16 players, I would have jumped in for this monthly, but as we got there, I won't play. And yeah. 2v2 tournaments are already enough. Looking forward for the Friday night WARNO next week, next Friday, guys. Next Friday, the FNV is coming around again. So yeah, short break. Then we're gonna go into the next series, which will be Phoenix versus